This is another bendy piece of metal, and it's old, and so am I. Well, clearly you can read, but for those who maybe don't read, 1949 Selmer Super Balanced Action tenor saxophone. Technically it's a super action, but commonly known as the Super Balanced Action. Just one of them things, I guess. This horn, when it came to me, how would I describe it? I'll be polite. Okay, train wreck. Yes, it was a train wreck. You know when you do the washing up and then you take all the cutlery and you just throw it in the drawer? That's what this sounded like. It was horrible. It was rattly and clunky and metal on metal. It was, let's just say, not in the best shape. Now I've blitzed it. I stripped it down to a body tube. I readjusted all the posts, all the key work, everything, straightened out some tone holes. It is, let's just say, a lot better now. And this thing is covered in resolders, lots of old solders that have been redone. So, yeah, it's had a life. It's been around the block. It's been rebuilt, I think, more than one occasion. But, you know, these things happen to old pieces of metal that get banged around and not looked after. And this tenor belongs to a friend of mine. Sadly, it's been mistreated and abused, so I will not mention his name. Not at all. I won't mention his name at all. He's horrible. That's why I won't mention his name. You know who you are. And I'm very glad to say this thing is now back to life. So a quick look at this tenor. You'll notice that it's got the split bell key guards right here, and literally split because one of them has been soldered back together. Not my work. Any of the soldering work on here is not my work. It was like this before I got it. You can see some of the solder work there. I mean, all of this is cosmetic stuff. There, many places. Here, inside of here. There's just way too many resolders for me to go one by one on them. But you get the picture. It's been done up many times. But now, finally, it's back to how it should be. It feels tight. It feels snappy. It feels less like a train wreck and more like the Orient Express. Okay, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. It feels more classy, feels more elegant, and it feels more like how it's meant to be. So have a listen to the keywork noise now. Maybe it's not going to pick up the best on the microphone, but you'll get what I mean. Here we go. Now that's a nice sound. Also check out that really lovely engraving and the patina. Am I going to say it? I love a used look like this. It's definitely one of my favourite, if not my favourite look in a horn. It looks like shabby chic, whatever that means. But anyway, let's have a listen to what this thing sounds like, and I will catch you lot after this demo. Well, to me, as a player, this felt really nice. It sounded good. And I've owned and played a hell of a lot of Selmers. I mean, dozens and dozens. And I would safely say this is up there in my top 10% of Selmers I've owned or played. And some people might say, well, Ian, you're not particularly a Selmer fan. And that's kind of true. It doesn't mean I don't like them. I just think they're a bit overrated. They're still good saxophones, but a bit overhyped. But this one, I like this one for a certain reason. Because it's a bright horn. So this might be a little bit of a shock to the system. So I'm running away with it. Bye-bye. The tuning's actually pretty good for an SBA. I've played a lot of squirrely super balanced actions, which, to be frank, have been horrible. I mean, yeah, I'm just going to cut the filter out. They've been horrible. I've just said it. I don't care. I don't care if I get hate. It's just one of them things. I actually like Selmers. I'm just seeing if I can trigger anybody out there. Just a bit harmless, crazy fun. And it is no longer a train wreck, thankfully. At least it's now come back to life, and now it can have a life of being played. Maybe it just goes in my friend's collection and just sits there doing nothing, gathering dust. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's all light-hearted, and this overall is a very nice tenor in its own right. I like it a lot. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I like it a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can do me one big favor. Get your finger, click on the like button, subscribe if you want to do that, because that's free. It's free. There's nothing to pay. It's free. Anyway, go away. Go away. Shoo. I said go away now.